Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I, Aria, own a historic little bakery, Aria's Hearth, on Elm Street. It's my legacy. We're nestled right next to the gleaming new Apex Development Plaza, a monolith of glass and steel that swallowed up most of our old commercial district. Their new director, Wesley Stinson, seemed to have it out for me from day one. Apex wanted my property, Lot A, for their grand urban walkway project, but I refused to sell. That's when Wesley started leveraging an old Heritage District maintenance agreement I'd signed years ago, back when the neighborhood was trying to revitalize. It was mostly about shared refuse collection and facade upkeep, but Wesley found a clause about shared public thoroughfares and insisted my entire Lot A was subject to an easement for pedestrian traffic, effectively turning my front sidewalk into their private bypass. He started issuing daily fines for trivial obstructions, my display racks, a bench for customers, even my antique bicycle propped outside. He claimed I was in breach of the shared access terms for their corporate plaza, even though my property has always been distinct. The fines escalated, threatening to bankrupt me. Their lawyer, a brisk fellow named Joshua, sent me a formal letter citing breach of the Heritage District Maintenance Agreement and demanding I cease all private encroachment on the Apex Development thoroughfare running through my property. The letter also contained a curious addendum, a formal notice from Apex, signed by Wesley himself, unilaterally terminating the Service Alleyway Access Agreement for Lot B, a tiny, practically unseen alleyway I owned between my bakery and their loading docks. It was a municipal easement granted years ago for shared utilities and refuse access. Wesley probably saw it as an ancillary agreement that needed tidying up before they fully pressed their claim on Lot A, or thought it would remove another layer of my property rights. He'd verbally harangued me about unnecessary complications with Lot B previously. He literally canceled the only official, legal agreement that gave them any defined access to anything near my property. I sat down with my own, much more affordable, legal counsel, Catherine. He meticulously reread every line of that old Heritage Agreement, and then every word of the Service Alleyway Access Agreement and Wesley's termination notice. That's when Catherine's eyes widened. The original Heritage District Maintenance Agreement, the one Wesley was using to find me, referred to specific property lot IDs for its shared access clauses, and the only lot ID explicitly linked to shared access was Lot B, the alleyway. My main bakery, Lot A, had always been separate. Wesley, in his zeal to dominate my property, had canceled their own legal access to the crucial service alleyway, Lot B, which housed their main data conduits and was their sole loading bay entrance. He thought he was canceling an insignificant part of my property rights to simplify his takeover of Lot A. He had, in fact, just dismantled their own infrastructure access. Exactly 30 days after Wesley's termination notice, I delivered my own formal letter to Apex Development, hand-delivered and signed for by a rather confused receptionist. The letter stated that, in accordance with Apex Development's formal termination notice of the Service Alleyway Access Agreement for Lot B, I would be exercising my full property rights. This included commencing construction of a new, solid boundary wall across the entire width of Lot B, effectively sealing off Apex's loading bay and utility access within 30 days. Furthermore, I demanded the immediate removal of all Apex-installed conduits, cables, and security cameras from Lot B, as the agreement granting their presence was now officially defunct by their own declaration. I also included an invoice for unauthorized usage of Lot B for the past 3 years. The next morning, I got an infuriated call from Apex's main lawyer, Vita. She scoffed. "You can't just block a crucial service thoroughfare for an entire corporate plaza, Aria. The courts will never allow it." I calmly informed her that it was no longer a service thoroughfare, according to their own legally binding termination notice, which she could reread at her leisure. I also reminded her that Lot B was my private property, and I was simply erecting a boundary for security, much like any property owner would. The silence on her end was deeply satisfying. A frantic week followed. Apex lawyers realized the gravity of Wesley's blunder. Without Lot B, their new plaza's loading bay was useless, and their main communication lines would be cut. Wesley himself called, trying to renegotiate the misunderstanding. I simply stated that the agreement was terminated by his signature. Eventually, they sent Joshua, the paralegal, who looked utterly miserable. He was tasked with drafting a new private service corridor agreement. For Lot B, my demands were, shall we say, comprehensive. 1. A monthly fee equal to 3 times what they initially offered for my entire bakery, indexed to inflation. 2. Apex would be solely responsible for maintaining Lot B to premier corporate access standards, including weekly cleaning and security patrols. 3. A cancellation fee of $15,000 if Apex ever chose to terminate the agreement. 4. The agreement would automatically terminate if Apex, or any of its directors, specifically Wesley, ever issued any formal complaint, fine, or took any legal action against Aria's hearth, Lot A, or me personally. 5. Apex would cover all my legal fees for any disputes relating to Lot A or Lot B. 6. The agreement must be personally co-signed by Wesley Stinson as a guarantor. Joshua returned with the proposed contract, looking like he'd seen a ghost. He explained that Wesley, in a fit of rage and convinced I was bluffing, signed the entire document without reading it, telling Joshua he was not paid to think, just to process. Within 1 month, Wesley Stinson quietly resigned from Apex, reportedly facing internal investigations for gross mismanagement and a substantial settlement with the company. The daily fines against Aria's hearth ceased immediately. Now, every week, I simply send Apex a photo of a single, stray leaf in my service alleyway, and a team of their highly paid landscapers arrives within hours to ensure premier corporate access standards are maintained. Some people just can't resist the urge to sign things without reading.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.